In this video, I would like to explain you about the basic concepts of biostatistic. First of all, I introduced the word biostatistics. The word biostatistics is a combination of word bio or biology and statistics. Uh, in this way, this biostatistics is the application of statistical tools to the data from biological sciences. It is then the branch of science which deal with the development and application of the most appropriate methods for data collection, presentation of the collected data, and their summarization and analysis and interpretation of the results, uh, and making inference about the phenomena or population on the basis of data collected in sample. In other word, in other sense, this word statistic is used to denote the recorded information in for a layman, for a common man. For a common man, statistics is just a set of information. As when we see the television, we see a list of score of certain players while watching cricket. The, that is the statistic. That are the statistics are the set of information. While when we come to in the domain of statistics, then the word statistics is any numerical data computed from sample. Hence, there are three different senses. One is the branch of science which we call statistics, and the second one is the recorded information, and the third one is uh, any numerical characteristics computed from sample. When we come to the domain of statistics, then the major thing we need to know is the data. What is data? And what are the sources of getting a data? Data is basically set of information, any numerical set of any uh, the information might be in numerical form or textual form or some qualitative form. Then the data is collected through different sources. One is records, official records, maybe from some register. In biological science, often the records about patient can be found from hospital administration or other related departments. Uh, and the second is the survey. The surveys are conducted for some special purpose, and the surveys are of two kind. One is sample survey. In sample survey, a part of population is considered to gather information related to that part, related to the whole uh, aggregate. While in comprehensive surveys or enumerations, we take complete enumeration of the population uh, we want to study. And the third one is experiments. Experiments are conducted to obtain certain to see the effect of certain factors while fixing for other factors. uh, in other words, we want to see the effect of certain interventions or treatment in medical studies. uh, there are basically two types of data. One is primary data and the other is secondary data. Primary data is basically the data we collect by ourselves for the purpose of our study, and while the secondary data is obtained from articles or from other published books. uh, that type of data are already taken from the from a third party or some other researchers. So primary data and secondary data are the two different types of data uh, according to the source. Coming to the types of variable, there are basically two types of variable. One is quantitative variables, and the second is the qualitative variables. In quantitative variables, we further categorize the variables into two groups: quantitative continuous and quantitative discrete. While in qualitative variables, we further divide the qualitative variables in two categories. One is nominal and the second is ordinal. Nominal are the uh, data obtained from a weaker scale of measurement, such as the color of someone's hair. The hair color is a nominal variable. We can just name that the color of that person is red, and that person is black, and that person is some other gray, and so on. While in qualitative ordinal data, we rank the data and then we order the data according to some characteristics, such as um, socio-economic status of a person can be ranked as poor, middle, and upper class. Similarly, students are categorized according to their grades. First A grade, then B grade, and then C grade, and then F grade. So these are two types of uh, qualitative data. While in quantitative data, we have continuous data, which are which is the data can be obtained uh, there from any point in a real line. Means a data which touches every point between 2 points in on a real line. For example, age of a person or height of a person. Height of a person can be any number between 1 to maybe 170 centimeter, and so on. While discrete variables takes only integer values, such as number of x, number of persons. There are only 3%, there are only 4%. We can't say that there are 1.5% in the group. So the number of person is a quantitative discrete variable. And then we come to the stage of classification of data. The stage of classification is very crucial, because on the basis of classification we can compare the groups or see the differences in the groups. The classification consists of four main types. One is quantitative classification. In quantitative classification, we categorize the data according to some quantitative variable, as we already discussed. Here, if we categorize the patients according to their age or some other demographic characteristics, then the classification is known as quantitative classification. While coming to qualitative classification, when we classify the data according to some qualitative variable, or that is marital status, sex, etc., then this is qualitative classification. The third one is chronological classification. Chronological classifications are the classification where we classify data according to their occurrence. The data which occur first is taken on first, and then the second occurrence is put on second, and so on. If we take the price of oil from 1990 to 2020. Then this classification is known as chronological classification, or the type of data is called time series data, which we discuss in next video uh, in detail. While the geographical or spatial classification is the classification of data according to geographical positions. Uh, for example, the annual rainfall data for different provinces or different districts of Pakistan is a geographical an example of geographical classification. This is the frequency distribution table, which uh, can classify data according to the variable. The variable may be qualitative or quantitative. For quantitative variable, we put this table where there are 12% having age 0 to 5 and 18% having age 5 to 15, and 10% students with age 15 to 20. The percentages are roughly given, so don't consider the percentage according to these values. And this is the qualitative classification, where we classified the data according to the marital status, not age, as I written here the age, which is wrong. This is basically the marital status of the patient. And this is cross tabulation. Cross tabulation classifies the data into according to two variables. Here we classify the data according to lung cancer. The person who have lung cancer and the person who don't have lung cancer, and these are smokers and these are non-smokers. So this is the the basic classification, cross tabulation. This is an example of chronological classification, where MMR, maternal mortality rate of for a country for certain time periods are given. Time points: 1960 50 maternal mortality rate, and in 970 there were 45 maternal mortalities, and in 1980 there were 26 maternal mortality maybe per 1000 persons. This is a frequency polygon for age and sex distribution. This is somehow this is a type of cross tabulation where one variable is on qualitative scale and the other variable age is on quantitative scale. Thank you for listening the video.